Honestly guys, I've rewritten this video so many times, I'm getting bored. So I've decided to try to keep it simple, which I honestly kind of hate to do because of just how incredible this season is, but I just can't get it to work any other way, so shucks. But there are going to be spoilers in this video, and probably a good amount of them. So if you haven't watched this season or this show yet, well, you're making a horrible mistake, so go do that. But also, don't watch this video because, I mean, like, spoilers and stuff, as I just said, so, yeah. Let's begin. So this season beats the previous two seasons by a landslide. It does start off kind of slow because Matt is still healing after the events of the Defenders. And when I say the events, I mean a building fell on top of him, so that's probably a pretty big hindrance. But I mean, it's only slow in hindsight. Like, looking back now, I realized that it was slow, the beginning was slow, but it didn't feel like it while I was watching it. It managed to keep my interest, which is pretty impressive because not much was happening with Matt. Fisk is back as the main antagonist, as well as Special Agent Ben Poindexter, or Dex, as kind of like a side threat. And Dex is actually a really cool character with an interesting story and origin because, yeah, he's a psychopath, but he's got a pretty tragic backstory. He suffers from mental illness and stuff. Like, it's interesting, okay? It's interesting. Fisk is interesting, but Dex is more interesting. Fisk is basically doing everything he's doing for Vanessa, so he's doing everything for love, but Vanessa sucks. She's a horribly boring character. I don't care what anyone says. I hate her character. She has no personality, and I'm in physical pain whenever she speaks. It's honestly an amazing power she has. They try to make her more interesting by having her give the order to murder Nadim, but it doesn't really work at all. I just don't care about her. She's boring. The end. And actually, speaking of Nadim, pretty friendly guy. But like a few minutes after he was introduced, I was like, I'll be amazed if he makes it through this season alive. And he didn't. I actually really liked his death scene, not because he died. Relax. But because Dex was sent to kill him, and him and Dex go way back, they're boys. So Nadim tries to convince Dex to stop doing bad crime things. And going into the scene, I knew this wasn't gonna work. But for like a split second, you can see that Dex is still a person and not a monster. But then he kills Nadim anyway, so frick nuggets, my dude. I also don't understand Nadim's decision to try and pull his gun on Dex because Dex was already aiming at him. I just want to know what his plan was, what was his thought process. I just thought it was kind of a strange move, but that's just me. But Nadim just wants to do the right thing, but he's forced into being part of Fisk's evil plan. So he has to do stuff he doesn't want to do, so that's really not fun, to be honest. Let me just simplify this now. The story in this season is awesome because you have Matt trying to take down Fisk, but Dex is in the way. Dex has his own inner conflict. Karen goes to confront Fisk, but it goes south real quick. Fisk wants Karen dead, so he sends Dex after her. Foggy is doing lawyer things. Fisk took over the FBI. Dex is destroying Daredevil's reputation by killing people in a fake Daredevil suit. Like, there's a lot, which is definitely why I'm having so much trouble with this review. There's just way too much to cover, which is why I'm forced to keep it simple. So here we are. The performances by everyone in the cast are incredible as usual. Casting for Dex and Fisk are fantastic. The action is incredible as usual, and actually, speaking of the action, we got another one of those long tracking shots. You know, in Season 1 we had the hallway fight scene, in Season 2 we had the stairway fight scene, and in Season 3 we have the prison fight scene. This one is just... dude. So it's just a measly 11 minutes long, and it's not just fighting. It starts with fighting, then there's dialogue, and then Matt escapes the prison. It's a lot to cover with no jump cuts. You need to go watch that right now because I was thinking about it for like 3 to 4 days after I saw it, and I still haven't fully gotten over it. So now switching to a completely different thing. At some point during the season, Matt starts having hallucinations of Fisk like taunting him, and these hallucinations of Fisk are saying stuff like, "Nerd! You suck." That is a direct quote. He also has some hallucinations of his dad. Like, I just feel like those were a little out of place because they just start happening. I don't think Daredevil has ever had hallucinations like this before. Like, I don't think they've ever used this plot device. Please correct me if I'm wrong because I want to know. But I don't think they've ever done this in this show before, so I just feel like it was super weird and out of place and just strange. Like, it just happens. Like, what, are you kidding me right now? What is this? I'm doing okay. But also, the conclusion in this season is awesome. So Matt wants to kill Fisk. So he goes to the hotel where Fisk is staying to, like, do that. He manages to get into the hotel and Dex finds out. So Matt, Dex, Fisk, and Vanessa are all there. We can count Vanessa out because she doesn't matter and no one cares. Matt, Dex, and Fisk are all fighting each other. Fisk paralyzes Dex by, like, running him into a wall. It was very strange. Matt manages to get the upper hand on Fisk and just starts wailing on this kid. Matt punches him like 9 times in a row, and it's awesome because Fisk's face is like bloody, you know? violence. Matt starts like screaming at him, he takes his mask off, and Matt wants to kill him, but he can't because if he does, Fisk wins. And that's one thing that makes him a hero, he doesn't kill people, even when he really wants to. After the fight, the cops arrive and they find out that Dex isn't Daredevil. So they find out that the guy that was like, you know, hurting and killing innocent people isn't actually Daredevil. And then Matt, Foggy, and Karen all make up and they start their new law firm. This one has 3 names instead of 2. Wow. But it's a really nice conclusion. It's a good way to wrap up the season. It also shows Matt speaking at the priest's funeral. I forget his name. My bad. But Matt gives a really great speech. It's just a great conclusion to the season. They finally took down Fisk, so they're happy about it. I mean, I would be too, because it was tough. But then there's the very last scene where it shows Dex's spine being repaired. That scene was a really cool way to set up the next season. But in conclusion, this season of Daredevil is the best one of the 3. This review is probably trash compared to the other ones you've seen. My bad. I'm just really bad at reviewing full seasons of shows. I don't know why. I think it's just because, like, there's a lot, you know? Yeah. So I can't do this season justice in this video. Anything I said in this video cannot do Daredevil Season 3 justice. So please just go watch it. I mean, watch the entire show. Like, the entire show is awesome. Just go watch it. Like, right now. Like, I'm ending the video, so after the outro, you're gonna watch it, okay? You're going to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, make sure to leave a dislike, jump off a bridge, whatever suits you. My name's Whitefire, and I'll see you on the flip side.